Hello, my name is Allie Haupt and I'm the innovation lead here at Coegi. So you may or may not have heard the news of the Google Antitrust case, but we at Coegi have been keeping close tabs on it because its ruling could have massive impacts to the marketing industry and it has the potential to reshape the AI landscape. But before we dive into that, let's first cover off on the background of this case. So back in 2020, which feels like a century ago, the Department of Justice brought this case forward and the trials began in September of last year. Now, the main question that this case aimed to answer was, did Google engage in anti-competitive practices to unfairly maintain its dominance in search and in advertising? The court evaluated many factors such as Google's market share, Google's anti-competitive behaviors, with a notorious example being Google and Apple's deal to have Google be the default search engine on Apple products, as well as evaluating if any of these anti-competitive behaviors led to any consumer harm. So on August 5th, in a historic ruling, the judge shared that Google is a monopolist and has been acting as one to maintain its monopoly. Now, obviously, this ruling will have massive impacts of the competition among search engines, as well as we as marketers approach paid search in the future. But there's also an interesting question that's looming in the air coming off of this ruling, which is, what happens to all of the search data that Google has been illegally collecting over the years? Now, the reason that this is interesting is because Gemini, which is Google's AI chatbot, its entire value proposition and foundation is Google search query data. So now comes the question of what happens to Gemini coming off of this ruling. I have a couple of theories as to what I think is going to happen to AI. The first is I think we're going to see a direct impact to Gemini's future performance as well as future developments, because it's now going to be a question of what data can Gemini access. I also think we're going to see increased scrutiny on the data that is collected and used to train AI models, as well as I think we're going to see a level playing field among the AI chatbots that are on the scene or coming onto the scene, as Google's going to lose some of its primary advantage in the AI game. So obviously these impacts to AI won't be seen for quite some time because remedy discussions will start next month. And Google is likely to appeal this court ruling. If you have a question, leave it in the comments below and be sure to follow us for more.